So hi everyone, welcome back to Latrell's and Daddy's kitchen. So we're going to be making some Pepperpot.
Yes, Latrell. Pepperpot is a traditional Guyanese dish. It's a dish that we make every Christmas. Ever since I was young, your age actually, I remember my mother and grandmother always making Pepperpot every Christmas. They usually make it 2 days before. So like in the household, normally you'd smell, like you'd wake up every morning. Because when you wake up, they would turn the stove on and it'd like heat up the Pepperpot. Because it's one of those dish, the older it is, the better it tastes because of the casrep. Casrep is made from cassava root extract. So it's like a provision. But this is the starter dish. This is what gives it the flavor, the smell, everything. Yes, Latrell, and another good thing about casrep is that it acts as a preservative. So you could marinate your meat with it and then leave it on the stove. You don't have to put it in the fridge or anything. You can leave it on the stove for up to like 2 weeks. So this is really good for that. So the older, because of this, the older the dish is, the better it tastes. It tastes better with time. Okay? So as you can see, Pepperpot is a dish with like a lot of meat. You can put any meat in it. You could put cow foot, goat feet, cow face. You could put anything.
Anything that's meat.
Yeah, but you wanted the meat to be like tough, not the one that would like break up in like the sauce as it's simmering or cooking.
Yeah, and you can also use goat butts.
You could use whatever. But chicken, I don't know about chicken. I don't think chicken will be good for this dish. So it's always like a beef, a goat, pig, pork, you know, so...
Yeah, but we're never gonna put pig heads in it.
No, you can put that too, but we won't. The snout or the ears, you know, you can put whatever. But yeah, so I think it's time to get started. What do you think?
Yeah. The ingredients are 8 cloves, 3 cinnamon sticks, orange peel, 3 hot peppers that are optional, a cup of brown sugar, sea salt. So for the meat, we are gonna need oxtail, short ribs, pork tenderloin, beef roast, and the star of the dish, casrep.
Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll wash our meat. Remember what I said?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cut you. I use your nose. But like I said, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna wash our meat. Alright, so we'll start with what is this? Do you remember what this is? Oxtail. We'll start with the oxtail. And as you can see, this oxtail we bought has like a lot of fat on it. So you want to trim as much fat as you can off of it. So some of them you could buy without as much fat, but the ones we found, they had a lot of fat. So we're just going to trim some of that. We're going to wash it, and then we're going to put it in the pressure pot. We're going to pressure this one. Okay? Alright. Alright, Latrell, so I trimmed off a lot of the fat off the oxtail, as you can see here. Well, I did the best I could, you know. So, but I think we did a pretty good job. So now we're just going to wash the meat and prepare it to pressure, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to pour the lemon in. Pour the lemon juice in. I'll tell you when to stop. Just keep going. And we always wash our meat, right?
Yeah.
Kills all the bacteria, the germs. So give that a good little wash. Alright, that's good, that's good. Okay, so just close that for me. Alright, so I'm just gonna wash this. And then when we finish this, we'll be back with the next step. Alright, y'all, so we finished washing the oxtail with the vinegar and lemon. So now we're just gonna take it to the pressure cooker and pressure. So y'all, already have some water seasoned with salt in here already ready to go. So I'm just gonna add the oxtail to this. You want enough water in here to cover the oxtail. You don't want too much, so just enough. So we'll get all that in there. You see that?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're just gonna cover this. Attach it. And then just leave this in the stove. So while this is pressuring, we're gonna start cutting up the other meat. So come over here. Alright, so we're gonna start cutting up the roast necks. Which one? And we'll wash these and we'll get it prepared. So we'll be back once this is all nicely cut up.
Wow, Dad, that is a lot and a bunch of meat.
This is a lot of meat. Yeah, well, as you can see, we cut up that roast and it produced more than I thought it would. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually, the short ribs, I thought we could have added it to this, but we're gonna actually add this to the pressure cooker. Once the oxtail is done, we're gonna substitute that for this. We're gonna put this in there after and just pressure cook it because it'll be a lot easier because we have so much meat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some oil to the pan, and we're gonna brown these. We washed it and everything, so now we're just gonna brown it. We're just gonna add some color to it. All right, y'all, so now to brown it, we're just gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the bottom of the pot, okay? Did you see what I'm doing? So I'm just gonna put just enough to brown it, to sear it. That's another term. Instead of saying brown it, you're gonna say sear. We're just gonna sear the meat, okay? All right, y'all, so I'm just gonna add the meat now to brown. So we're just gonna get this in there. And then you gotta be quick because you don't want it to stick to the pot, right? So we're just gonna dump it all in. There we go. That's a lot of meat, boy. So the reason why we're cooking so much is because we have like some family coming over on the weekend or over the Christmas holiday. So we're making enough for all of them. So just wanna keep stirring it. Stuff at the bottom we bring to the top. See how it's already starting to brown? Like this is what you want. You can see that there? This is what you want to see on all the meat.
Yep, and there's one more thing. You don't want to get burned.
Nope.
Because if that sprays that one next to the bowl, you're going to get burned.
Oh, you're talking with the pressure cooker?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be mindful of that. Oh, well, we're getting there because there's so much meat in here. I constantly have to keep turning it so the ones at the bottom get to the top. So now at this point, I'm just going to add some salt and pepper.
Manisha, you need to come try our pepper pot. It is so good. You should actually try it. You're going to love it. And it is rocket awesome good.
That's a big shout out for you, Manisha. The child is really eager for you to try his pepper pot. Okay, well, I'm adding the salt and pepper, Lachelle. So we're just going to continue turning it, browning it, searing it, and we'll be back. The oxtail should be almost ready, and then we'll put in the short ribs next.
Yep, but when it burns one more time, it's done.
When the pressure goes off.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Lachelle. So I took the oxtail out. This is done. It finished pressuring. So now, as you can see, it's pretty good. So we're just going to add this to the pepper pot later on. So we're just going to set this aside for now. And next, we're going to do the short ribs. And we're just going to add it to the pot. And I also seasoned the water with like some salt. So we're just going to get this in there. And remember, you want enough water to just cover the meat. You don't want too much water in there. Let's see. And while I'm doing this, as you can see, our meat is already pretty much brown. So we're just gonna have to give that a quick turn. And yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a lot of meat, so this process is taking a little longer. So I'm just gonna add the rest of this. I'm gonna cover it and pressure it, and we'll be back. Alright, Luchon, because there's so much meat and I really want to get all the meat brown, I actually took some out. We actually took some out, so we just put it in a bowl for now. So these are the ones that are already done. As you can see, they're already pretty much brown, right?
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna finish off the rest.
Between inside that one, there's a little bit of still pink.
Yeah, you don't want to cook it because it's gonna cook with the once we have it boiling with the casrip. So this is just a slight sear. We're just putting a slight sear in them. So as you can see here, and there's a lot of excess liquid in here. Could you see, Latrell?
Yeah.
So
I got it.
could you see all that liquid in there?
Yeah.
So we're gonna take all the meat out.
Okay.
You want to get all that liquid out. That's like liquid from the meat. So we're going to get all that out. We're going to drain it in the sink, and then we'll put all the meat back in, and then we'll start adding our ingredients.
And then for the last thing, we're gonna need our special ingredient.
So these are pretty much done. So I'm just gonna take these out, and we'll be back.
Next, Daddy.
All right, Lachelle. So we drained all the fat, all the excess liquid from the searing of the meat. So now we're just gonna add it back in. As you can see, just gonna add it. But this part we gotta be quick. We're gonna add half the meat in this time. Okay. All right. And then at this point we'll add some of the casserole. And then we're gonna add some of the oxtail in. Not all. We're just gonna mix them, like do in betweens. All right. And then at this point, we'll add in some casrip. Not too much, just a little bit. Could you see that? Just kind of sprinkle it over.
Well, I can't.
Okay, I'll show you. Could you see if I like this?
No, it's good.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that, and then we're just gonna give it a quick little stir. Can you smell that, Lacho?
Oh, it smells so good.
There we go. This is what you want. And then we just need the short ribs to finish, and then we'll add the rest. We're gonna add the rest of the meat in here. We'll add more casrip to it because you want to get all the meat covered well with casrip. And at this point, Latrell, the short ribs should almost be done. And then we can start adding water to it. How does it smell?
Good.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I think I will add some water at this point because I don't want it to burn at the bottom. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Not too much. Just a little bit. Yeah, that should be good. And then we currently have it on a low heat. So you just keep stirring it. Alright, so we're going to finish, we're going to stay on this until the short ribs is done, and we'll be back. Alright, Michelle, the short ribs are now complete. So we're going to turn this off. We're going to take this out, and then we're going to move this to the sink so we can release the pressure and check in the short ribs. Right? Alright, so now, just gonna release the pressure. Alright, Lachelle, well, this is now finished, our short ribs. So let's see how it looks. Whoa, look at that. It's like falling off the bone.
Yeah, and it looks just like a mushroom.
Like a mushroom? I guess so. How about
See,
that one? That look like a mushroom?
Still, some mushrooms look like that.
Oh, buddy, this is going to be one good pepper pot.
Ooh, that one looked like a mushroom too.
Yeah, they're all pretty much going to look the same.
That's what. Oh, this one looked like a broken boat.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
This one's just like a broken boat that needs to get repaired. That's never getting repaired in a month.
In a month?
Yeah. That looked like a
You
boat.
have quite an imagination.
Wow. This one looks like a boat that's broken. That's never gonna get broken in a year.
Okay, I think that's all of it. Yeah, it's all done. Alright, so now we're just going to add this to our pepper pot. Alright, Latrell, now we're just going to add this to the pot.
Yep.
Look at that. That's a lot of meat. This is going to be one big pepper pot dish. We're just going to add the calf's rib to this before we mix it in. Just going to add the rest of the bottle in. And the thing is, I bought this at Dino's. It's a store in Isabel for all of my Winnipeggers. It's the only store in Winnipeg where you could find this, that I know of at least. If you know of any other stores that sells Guyanese calf's rib, please feel free to let me know in the comment. Alright, so we're just going to add a little bit more calf's rib. That should be plenty. That should be lots. So now we're just going to mix all this in. We're going to get these short ribs to the bottom. You see that?
Yeah.
Turn that. Alright, so next, Latrell, we're just going to add the rest of the ingredients. We're going to add some cinnamon sticks.
Okay.
Because there's so much meat, we're going to use 3 cinnamon sticks, like we said before. The cloves. Let me put some cloves in there.
No more peppers.
No peppers?
Yeah.
Okay. And remember, this is optional. You can use a Scotch bonnet pepper, riri pepper, or whatever pepper you like. You normally just add the whole thing in. But because it's a dish for the kids also, we're gonna skip this. I know it's called Pepperpot for a reason, but that's not the reason why it's called Pepperpot. And normally you want some dried orange skin, but we couldn't find any dry, so we're just gonna use like some orange peel. So just get that in there, and just a little bit of salt for taste. So we're just gonna add that in.
You know you can make it like this, Dad.
All right. So,
Dad, look.
oh, like this?
No, like this.
Like this?
Just like scrape the whole thing
Oh, scrape
off.
it off? Oh, okay. Good. Thanks for the tip, Latrell. All right, so now, Latrell, we're going to add the brown sugar. This will make it a little sweet. So you just clump it.
You know you can dump the whole
And normally you could normally I think some people put the water in first and this after, but I find this way easier because as you put the water in, it kind of like mixes everything together while you're putting it in. So let's get some brown sugar in there.
Can I do it?
Yep. There you go. Now be careful. Okay. Yeah, just sprinkle it in. There you go. Good job. Alright. That should be enough. And we use like about 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. We didn't use too much for a pot this big. And next we just add the water in. And you want enough water so it could cover all the meat. We'll just use some filtered water here. Yeah, just enough to cover the whole thing. And if you feel you don't have enough calf's rib or salt or sugar, you would taste it later and just add more. You could always adjust the flavor, the spices, the ingredients. Okay? So now we'll just give this one more good stir. I think we need a little bit more water. Alright, and if you feel you don't have enough calf's rib, just add a little bit more. Just get all that in there. Okay. And then just give it a good stir. And as this boils, it'll thicken up. It'll get darker because of the casrip. So then we're just gonna have this going on like a medium-high heat for about 2 hours. We'll cover it and just let it sit for about 2 hours. And occasionally we're gonna stir it throughout the 2 hours because you don't want all this stuff just sitting on the bottom. You want to always mix it. So, and then whatever little fat from the meat that comes to the top, we're just gonna skim it off. But for now, we're pretty much done. So now we just gotta wait for it to cook, and that's it. So we'll see you soon. All right, so we have about 47 minutes left. So the Pepperpot's pretty much it's pretty much almost done. So you just want to stir it halfway through, keep mixing it. Yeah, just let it sit there. And once this is done, it won't taste too good right now. So you gotta leave it overnight. You gotta let it sit here till the morning. Alright, and that's when it really absorbs the flavor. So we're gonna cover this for another 46 minutes. Alright guys, well the Pepperpot's done. Look at that. That looks really good. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna give it a stir. We're going to bring the heat down to a simmer, and we're just going to leave it on the stove overnight. So it's not going to taste too good now because you want it to sit and really marinate in the broth. So come tomorrow afternoon, it should be all ready and good to go. So if you can see that, this is all done. And at this point, if you feel if you need to add more casrib, if you need to adjust anything, you could add more. But this should be good. Alright, okay, well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Alright, good morning, everyone. It's the next morning. I'm actually about to head out to work, so just wanted to check on the Pepperpot. As you can see, this is perfectly done. All the meat's pretty much tender, it's falling apart. It's coming off the bone. So I actually added a little bit more casrib to this last night because of how much meat we had in here, and it wasn't as thick, the sauce, as I wanted. So I just added like about half a cup more to it, and then I mixed everything in. So now what I did is I'm just gonna turn this on to heat it up again, and then I'm gonna, before I leave for work, I'm just going to put it on a low simmer, and my wife is just going to take care of it, watch it, and when I get back from work, we're going to plate it. Alright? Alright guys, we're almost done. Bye.
Wow, Dad, that looks awesome.
Well, Joe, we had this on the stove for almost 24 hours now, so it's really done. Like, this is finished. This is ready to serve. You remember, you never want to eat this. You can eat it right away, but you always want to let it sit for at least a day or two, you know, before Christmas. We're just gonna serve this up now, and all right, Lucho, well, we're all finished. So now the good thing about this Pepperpot is that we can leave it sitting on the stove for like a week to 2 weeks, but you know, it never lasts long. A lot of meat in this one, so the best way to eat this is with either bread, or you could eat it with rice. You could, you know, and you could use, whenever you're cooking it, you could use whatever meat you want. Yeah, I won't recommend using like any fish or chicken. So,
or pig head.
Or pig head, yes. Well, a lot of people use pig head. You could use goat feet, goat heel, cow snout, goat snout, anything. Any part of the cow or goat or sheep that you want to use, but chicken and fish, because I think the chicken will just dissolve in the cooking process, so it won't be too great. But
wow, Dad, this looks good. Enough talking, I want to try it.
all right, let's try enough talking. Okay, so I'll let you try it. So what you do is you rip a piece of bread.
Yeah.
You dip, you grab some meat, like so. Oh wait. And you put some sauce in it, and then you go like so, and then I look, and then you go like that, and I'm just kidding. Big bite. Hey. Sure. What do you think?
I love it.
Alright, well, there you go, guys. Yes, well, we have a special guest. The Pepperpot woke him up. So, like we were saying before, thank you for watching our video. And if you like the video, please like, share,
And subscribe.
Yes, and
to help us grow our channel.
Right.
Goodbye.
And Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, everyone. Bye.
Bye.